Hello, everyone. Hello, Amy.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Megan. Oh my
Hi,
gosh, I felt like
Amy.
I was at school.
Did you?
Hello, Megan Walker. Hello, everybody. Do you ever still do that at school? It was good morning.
No,
No?
special school.
Posh school.
um, so before we get into anything, uh, can you guys, somebody, just tell us you can hear us, maybe even where you are, so that at least we know that we're not talking to ourselves. Yes. Hi, Marion. Good. Marion can hear us, and Holly did a thumbs up, so thank you. Oh, and another thumbs up from
Great.
Natalia. So loud and clear. Okay, hopefully not too loud. So this is our second one of these. So you guys, actually, the ones that joined the second call, you kind of get it better because we figured everything out that we didn't know about on the first call while we were on it. So we should know what we're going to talk about now.
And we were a little bit more perky as well. Everyone was a bit sleepy. It was more funny, I think, a bit less well-oiled, but we might actually be a bit more
Bit more
like
alive.
grown-ups. Yeah, we'll see.
Yes. Right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So as always, if you've got questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. If they're relevant to what we're talking about, then we'll address them there and then. Otherwise, we will definitely have some time and we can go over any questions at the end that you might have. So we are October. I can't believe it's October. I know everybody says this, and maybe it's just old people, Amy, that say this. I can't believe where the time's gone. I can't believe it's
I
October.
know.
Ridiculous. Anyway, so a lot of these things we actually talked about in September, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Or
A lot
event
of them
stuff.
are. They're on their journey from preview to OGA, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of it.
So this one. This one is surprising how
Oh,
quickly it is there, right?
yes. So this is our good friend Copilot, but it's not really Copilot much. So this is where they introduced a new feature in contact center, which is like customer service side of stuff for automated voice calls, which is obviously Copilot because anything is Copilot. So it's mostly a contact center feature, but they are using the journey as the orchestration. Um, so it's kind of the first example of one separate Dynamics product truly using sharing functionality. But yeah, this came out probably, was it announced at like a build or something like that? It was this year for sure. It was
Doesn't feel
announced as
that
like,
long ago.
ooh,
Yeah, doesn't feel that
it was
long
an ooh,
ago at all.
wow. And now it's in GA, so that's cool and a bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
So this is automated voice calls. So your plane has been cancelled and you can talk to an AI thing to reschedule. I've never heard of it in Australia or the UK. Apparently, it's a thing in America.
Mm. Yeah. So if anyone's using it, would love to know, but I am curious. For me, sometimes you get features, and it's not just Microsoft. I worked for a software company before, and it was the customers that shouted the loudest, or that maybe had the most money for a feature, and then everybody gets, "Hey, here's a great feature," when in reality, it's that much of the percent, a really small percentage of customers that are actually going to use it. Um, Alexandra's laughing, but I'm serious.
So
That
true.
usually when it is something that is like, it's because a very specific customer or group of people have asked for it, I think, right?
Yes,
Um,
the other term is a whale hunting.
yes,
Fun fact.
this is true. This is true. Right. Automate scalable journey creation with Journey API. I remember specifically talking about this when we did our Wave chat, and we
Yeah.
were talking about the stuff that was going to be coming in the different Wave releases. And this one, I was thinking, oh, this is really cool. I could use it, and I could go off and I could say, right, I want to make this email and build this segment, and I thought I could do so much more. And
Mhm.
in reality, you have to use journey templates, which you already would have had to have created. You already would have had to have created a journey in order to then save it as a template. So you've gone through all these steps, you would have to have segments existing and messages existing as part of all of that, and then use the API to go off and then create a journey. Just feels like I'm missing the value of this one. Do you think?
I completely agree. Like, it's got a very limited scope based on the fact you have so many pre-built pieces that have to be ready. I mean, you can automatically create a segment with a separate API, but you can't create emails as far as I know. And yeah, how are you going to create the email? So the email's got to be ready. It's got to be plugged into the template. There's so many things. It's like if you're going to have that perfect template where everything's ready, then
why not
do you need the API?
Yes, exactly. It would take you 2 seconds to say, right, I want a new journey. Which template? Bob's your uncle. Job done, right?
Yes, but there was one case earlier today that you got excited about. I still wasn't sure, but you can talk about that if it helps.
Oh, I can't remember. Tell me, because I was asleep this morning.
So this was using it to automatically create journey per event.
Yeah, I guess that was it was somebody on the call this morning, wasn't it, that said that they did that. So yeah, I could see that, because you could tie it in with a user creates a new event and the user does something or changes the toggle or changes a field setting or something, and that could trigger the API to go off and create the journey. So I think, if anything, yes, that could be a use case. But again, it goes back to all we're really doing is taking a step away that the user has to complete. Whereas I could just say, oh, okay, I've got a checkbox. I have a task list of things that I do when I create a new event. And one of them is I go and create a journey, and I pick a template. So yeah, it's still a bit kind of, are we trying to shoehorn in everything into using an API or a co-pilot or an AI type thing? And sometimes it's just not needed, is it?
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
But it's a start. It's a start.
It is a start. So the next one.
This is fun. So this is, we used to have a registration end date on the event record, which used to show up like in the portal. If you showed there, it would say, oh, registration is closed. Now we have a registration start date and end date. And again, this interacts with the registration form. So if you land on the form before registration is open, you're going to see some kind of message. If you land on the form when the registration is closed, you're going to see another different message. It's got a nice little form setting of a start and end date here, nice little toggle. And on the form itself, you can actually customize the message to say started, ended, yada, yada, yada. Yes. So the end date was part of the original outbound functionality, but this start date is a new enhancement. We got something new, yay. So this is cool. This is nice. I'm hoping you're going to show me what it looks like on the form, because I'm a bit scared that my existing forms are going to break because it's going to require new CSS classes to show.
So I can't. Maybe after 3:30 UK time, after 3:30 I could, because I actually set it up on the form for the registration for the event right now. But I think I allowed people to register up until 3:30. So we can look back in 20 minutes and see what happens on the form. You know. Because I did do it, but at the minute you could still register for session 2 now. Yeah, and then that one I changed that so you can no longer register for it. But yeah, 3:30 we can see what happens.
Yes, because that's just grayed out. Did you do the graying out, or is that the functionality?
No, that's not the functionality. I added in the number of people that are registered for session 1. I added that into the maximum number of registrations. Nice. But then what I found was that it said fully booked. And so I thought, oh no, I don't want it to say that. I want it to say session complete or something like that. So I changed it all in the form, and then it broke it and it put it on all of them. So I just removed it all.
Brilliant. Brilliant, everyone.
So
no
yes,
more
guys,
lingering.
we do this stuff too on the fly. Anyway, so yes, at 3:30 we can go back and see what happens and see if it's done anything. But this is what we're talking about in terms of the registration close notification. That we've got that in there now. So we'll see what happens. So right.
Awesome.
So the next one: create event portals with event and registration details using Power Pages. This has been up for so long now. It's one of those things where you look at it and you think, hang on a second, is this even a new thing? Because you've been able to do stuff with Power Pages for some time now, at least last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, this has been like a template that's been, it's like a pre-built template, like in theory, it's plug and play.
Oh, was it
In
only
theory.
February? Huh, okay.
Ago. That's like 8 months ago.
It feels longer than that. It feels like it was last year.
Yeah, I think it was talk about it a lot because it was like, oh, we're taking away outbound, and we're like, hey, there's loads of stuff missing. What are you doing? Oh,
Yeah.
So that was one of the big like contention items from the outbound dying situation.
Yeah.
So it's nice that yes, you can just plug it in and turn it on. It's pretty easy to configure, but it's quite restricted in terms of there's only so much you can achieve with it. It doesn't bend very far. So it will get you started, it'll get you up and running if you don't super care about like UI and perfect look and feel and with your company branding. It rides on the registration forms a lot. So the actual marketing forms. So you still got the kind of form-based experience. So it's not really a portal experience. Like the multi-language stuff doesn't really work.
Yeah.
So it's cool, it's good that it's plug and play, but it is a bit restricted. So if you did want something schmancy fancy, you would have to build your own Power Pages theme. And I am not smart enough to do that. Some people are. It'd be cool actually to see if someone like take it by the horns and do it legit Power Portal way. That would be quite cool to see.
So I've got about 8 blog posts where I started down the path of an event, like a portal, event portal. But I didn't ever get to the point where, so I didn't do anything with wait lists, and I also didn't do anything where like anyone actually logging in. So same thing again. It was the forms. But what we mentioned this morning is, in order to take advantage of the language, which is obviously one of the massive benefits of having a portal, is that is already built in. Then you would have to do something, either lots of JavaScript on the forms, which is then you're not actually doing portal config, you're doing stuff in the marketing forms, but to have something where actually I can log in and then it knows who I am, and I'm just then saying I want this, I want to register for this and this and this, but then it would have to go off or use portal stuff to basically say, when this happens, create the registration, create the session registration, all of that stuff.
You probably want to start tapping into the events API at that point as well. Rather than just doing the creates direct, just in case, like for waitlist and yada yada. So it'd be cool to see someone do it. But I think it will be quite a big meaty project to do as a proper portal.
Agreed. So this next one, along the same lines, create an event portal on your own website using the event API. Isn't that the thing where it basically says, oh, here's a bit of code, and then it shows all your events? Like the widget?
Yes, so it's very specific API calls that have a lot of logic built into them. So you can say like, register for this, I want to register for this event, and it'll go and check like, is it fully booked? Is it waitlisted? Is registration end date before or after today? Like it's got all the logic built into it, so you don't have to go and build it yourself. And it's got very specific events calls. So it's cool because you don't have to rebuild the logic. But you like this is like, but if you're doing like custom website or Power Pages and doing the real deal, you'd probably use it. But you are at the hands of what they've decided to make available in that API.
Okay, so all of those things are now GA, so generally available, fully supported, No bugs whatsoever.
No, it's perfect. Flawless. Nothing
Beautiful.
breaks.
These other things, however, may have some bugs or may not even
They
actually
might
be
not
there
exist.
at all. So this one could be very exciting, very useful. So this is create static segments with up to 200,000 members. However, if we go to the docs for this, it says up to 200,000 members. But if we go all the way down to the page that's all about building segments, there's a new section that says use CSV files. And this says up to 2 million members. So you've got difference between the two. But this is basically giving us a new way to be able to create a segment, and then when you're sort of adding your group, then you could pick upload CSV. So in the marketing app, what we have at the minute, what we do have, and if somebody's on the call and you have seen this, please speak up and let us know in the chat.
The actual thing.
The actual thing.
Switch.
So there is a switch that says scalable static segments. So right near the top, create large static segments items with CSV files or by selecting from the standard grid view. Now that's where, again, terminology wording is important. Now to me, where it says create them with CSV files or by selecting from the standard grid view, you know what that says to me in plain English? It means that I could go to contacts, which to me is a standard view, and pick and put people in. But I don't think that's what it means. I think it's just really badly worded. But
I like what you said. Can we have that instead?
I like that too. So based on the documentation, what we would expect is to add a new group and that we would see it there in the options. So add new group, it's not there. I even went here because I thought maybe, just maybe, include, no, it's still the same BS.
Yeah, I did the same thing in multiple different environments and regions and had the same results. So
okay.
Nothing yet.
Okay, well.
So we will see, but it's exciting. I think it in theory, on paper, it seems pretty cool. So just like we were chatting about earlier, this doesn't at the moment create new contacts, but it just goes and finds the contacts. Currently, it's only based on email address. So it doesn't actually care what else you have in the CSV. It's just going to match on email address, and it's going to include all of them. So if you've got yucky data and you have 700 contacts with the same email address, they will all be in the segment. So be really careful about what you're doing with duplicates and things like that.
Amy?
Yes.
Set this up. Would you happen to know what happens if you have that many in a segment and you do like an A/B test in your journey?
Well, Megan, that's a good question.
Do you want to share with the class?
I do want to share with the class what an unfortunate customer of mine informed me of. A/B testing. So you have a journey, you have an A/B testing. It might be email, or email SMS. In this case, it was 2 emails. And we have the deduplication setting turned on, which says prevent contacts from receiving duplicate emails in a journey or whatever it's called. If you do A/B testing and you have duplicates, the duplicate exclusion is at email level. So if you have 2 Amy Holdens and you do an A/B test, Amy Holden's going to get A and B.
Yes.
Duplication journey is not at journey level, it's at email level. Do not do A/B testing with duplicates because you will not be doing the A/B testing at all. You'll just be sending them to at the same time.
Yeah.
Or A and
which
B.
Which one did they delete first? Which one did they mark as spam first? Yes. Not ideal, not a good scenario. So yeah. It's fun when we find these things out, and sometimes it's like, oh, like sometimes we can only read so much into the release notes to then and documentation, then sometimes you have to make assumptions. And my assumption was that toggle would be almost doing it at the journey level. So at that point,
or like it's an A/B test, so it's technically the same
At that point, yes, exactly. At that point, when I'm dividing them up after I've removed duplicates. Yeah, not nice.
And when my customer told me, I was like, no, surely not. Maybe they've got something wrong here. And I was like, oh, no,
Yes.
that's legit.
Good times. So next one.
Yay!
Maximize event
Okay.
ROI with paid registration, seamless payment integration.
So event payments. So this is being able to buy tickets, passes, whatever you want to call it. You'll have to have a look actually while you're in here doing a nice demo while I waffle. Have they created a new table or is that the existing one?
Oh,
If you add a new or
yeah,
open
actually,
existing one, I think it's the same.
The table is there in settings. I'll go into it in a second. But yeah, you're going to find it on the passes tab on the standard event form. Now I have a butchered event form that
and it's gone missing.
I haven't even looked at it, but just if you have ever created if you've ever changed anything about the event form, you may not have noticed this, but what will happen is things will be added that you won't even know about. And yeah, so passes is not there on my butcher
Yeah, because
form.
it's got custom JavaScript and all sorts
so
of
what will
stuff,
happen
right?
is there's so much stuff that's on the event form. I think it's like 57 different scripts or controls. There's so much stuff on it. So just if this is important to you, you might want to basically remove all customizations, create a custom version of the event form, but know that you'll always have the standard event form to go back to and just make sure, like, is there anything new on here? So yeah, passes tab, enable payment gateway. Now the payment providers, I saw it this morning, is right
just
here.
a little config record, right?
Yeah, so this is, do you know what it was called before? Was it that?
No, that is new, but I think the
Okay.
passes table is the existing one we use for outbound.
Okay.
I don't know if they created a new one. That's definitely new, but the actual passes used to be an outbound.
Okay.
So I'm curious. I think they ended up staying with the original, the OG. But so yeah, the payment gateway thing is built to be very payment solution agnostic, which is nice because they've not like partnered up and said it's for Stripe, yada yada. But I believe there is still a decent bit of dev work you have to do to get the payment stuff working. Because all you've really got in those settings is an API key and a timeout. So there is still stuff that you have to do in terms of sending the information, sending it back. There is still going to be config no matter what payment system you're using. So it's not a plug and play. It's a bit more like when we did the Google reCAPTCHA, where you go and plug in your captcha key, because it's a generic captcha tool, because you can't use, say it's a brand. So you still do have to go and do like custom HTML on the form, do some code. So be careful with when you implement this. It's going to be a bit of work.
Bit of testing and trial and error.
Yes.
Angelica has a question about the static segments. So at the minute, well, first of all, obviously we can't see it, so we can't show you, but you're not uploading a list of contacts. Effectively, it's a list of emails. So you could, in that CSV file, have emails that are not linked to a contact or a lead. So you could upload it, but obviously it will only be able to add audience members into the segment that do exist in the system.
Yes, okay. Correct. Yep. There might be functionality, I think, from what you can tell from what they've built in the future, it will be to create as well. But for now, it's only limited to existing contacts, matching them up.
Or leads. Let's not forget about leads.
Yes, I'm assuming it works for both.
Oh, that would be utter crap if it didn't. Right. So those are public preview. We have a couple of things straight to GA, monthly enhancements, that have not gone through preview. Prevent unintended opt-outs in forms, which is good, because I'm sure anyone that's used the system for a while has seen this, where somebody submits a form they were previously opted in, they don't then tick the box on the next form, and therefore it opts them out.
Yes.
So that
exactly that.
is,
And it's not like these forms are sign-up forms. They're not subscription management forms. So it doesn't really make sense that you would opt out from submitting a form to interact in a subscription manner. And you might want to sometimes, which is why it's really nice they've done this switch.
Yeah, correct. I think I could see, so let's say you've got a subscription form on the website. So on mine, you go to mine, you want to subscribe, then I've got all the tick boxes that obviously your preference center mirrors that. Which that's most times that would be the first entry point that somebody comes through to get into your system, right? But it could be somebody that has already and they don't remember, they don't realize. So in that case, that would be beneficial.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. Like, I wouldn't expect to manage my subscriptions by jumping onto a random form on the website. I'd always expect to use the unsubscribe or update my preferences link to change what I've done, and I would only assume it's additive. So I think it's good.
The only thing that the only thing that I can think, so if you want to subscribe, so these are all topics, right? So let's say that somebody's already filled this out, but they filled it out months ago and they didn't remember, then maybe in their mind they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want customer insights journeys or events, like so they don't tick them. That's the only thing. I don't know. I can, anyway,
I think we're overthinking it sometimes.
I think so. Yeah, it's great. Okay, that's
good to have a choice. It's just a toggle as well. Great.
Yeah, that option's there. So the other thing that was that I noticed on forms the other day that is not in the release notes is if I want to have a field that is on here, but I don't want them to be able to change it, then I have read only as an option.
Yay.
So that is a sneaky little thing that they've pushed in. So read only, what it does is it basically prevents anyone from typing into that field. Just a side note, maybe they'll change it in the future. I don't know. I've given some feedback on it, but at the moment, when you toggle that on a field, it doesn't change the style of that field. So it will look exactly the same as all other fields. And it's not until the person filling out the form clicks 20 times to try and fill it in that they'll realize that they can't. So you might, if you do start to use that and you have a use for it, you might want to just figure out some kind of CSS that you can apply that will then add it to any field that you've set that read-only value on. So just a little, make it a bit more obvious, grey it out, that sort of thing.
Yes. And I do have a blog post that shows you this because I was showing you how to do it with the read-only, in the HTML, but also adding the CSS. So I will drop that in the chat as well. But also Squarespace, my webpage seems to be having issues and keeps saying the service is not available. So it might be there, it might not, but if it ever comes up, it's in there. There's a little CSS snippet about how to style that field to look like it's disabled.
Your site's got maintenance at 1 o'clock in the morning in Australia.
Great timing, great timing. I mean, I should be in bed, so maybe it's time.
It's your fault for being awake. All right, so the last one on here, we've got manual registrations can now contain custom unmapped fields. So I think we both learned something this morning.
We were like, no, that's not possible. It frickin' is.
Unfortunately, I cannot show this because I don't have a, let me just discard changes. I don't have an event with custom registration questions. But basically what it would, I think I've got,
I can put a screenshot in the chat once I get to mine.
Oh, awesome.
I don't want to kick you off, but I will add one in. But basically, any custom registration fields you have on the form of the chosen event will show up as it's really quite nice how they've done it. It actually looks pretty slick. I I'm just struggling to log in because my phone's gone to bed and won't let me open any apps.
Oh, is it saying you're like
Yeah,
in
and you can't
quiet
find
time?
anything. It's like, no, I don't have any apps. You need to go to bed.
So this is talking about an event registration form where you have added those additional custom questions. So what would you like to eat? What's your favorite color? What's your greatest challenge? Whatever it might be, is obviously sometimes you might have a need to manually add an event registration. So it's basically the ability that when I click new event registration internally within the system, that quick create form that pops up is that it will have any custom registration questions that you've got. Those would be displayed as well. So you could add them in at the same time, save you having to go and do it. So that is it in terms of everything in October. So actually it's not a bad list of things. It's quite healthy, I think, in this case.
Pretty juicy.
So if anyone has any questions, anything else that you would like to ask, doesn't have to be specific to the October release. We will do a session in November, and then maybe something a little bit different for December, because I don't think there'll be I don't know, maybe there will be a December release and we can touch on it if there is, but we'll definitely do a November one. Anything exciting that you've been working on?
I found a screenshot and put it in the chat of the custom field showing up on the quick create. Fun fact, it only shows up on the quick create, but if you go to the main form, it doesn't show up anywhere. So you need to make sure the quick create is available. But I'm guessing it doesn't work on the other one. Or
yeah. You just went like a robot.
So that is, but sorry. So yeah, assuming I'm assuming it wasn't me being stupid, but yeah, I think it only works on quick create, but it's pretty slick.
The other thing, I guess, when we're talking about if anyone's done customizations on the event form, is probably check your event registration quick create form, because if you've done customizations, then it might not work either. So Martin has a question. Have you all seen the assign button in real-time segment? So far, I haven't tried to figure this out. Oh, you mean to assign to a different user? I don't think that is there, no. Because I've
seen it.
Have you?
Yes, and it's very intermittent about when this magical, mysterious button shows up. And I'm very skeptical about what it's going to do because, like Martin said, it's a virtual record. I've looked up one now. When it's in draft, it does show
hang
up.
On. Let's
there
assign
you go.
it.
Do you have anyone to assign it to? Billy No Mates.
Mr. Walker.
There we go. Thanks, Otis.
He does no work. He's so lazy, but so far it doesn't do anything, Martin says. Okay, so
have a look.
I'm just going to see what if I do assign again, it says me. So let's go out and let's add owner onto this.
But you're right, the virtual tables don't really have a sense of ownership. So
hang on a second. So owner does not exist as a field it's created by, right?
You've changed the owner of the segment definition, not the virtual segment.
So that's what
which doesn't make any freaking sense because you can't now put it on the view. It doesn't change any information here, but I bet the owner of the segment definition has been changed. But this suggests there's other things coming. I don't know anything official. I'm just hypothesizing here, just to be clear. The only reason we have the virtual segment record is because of outbound. Because we're trying to hybrid the segments.
We're putting the bit, in the middle.
So possibly once outbound is gone, the virtual segment table will also be gone.
Do you think? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I've not been told this, but this is my brain thinking out loud. If you open that segment back up, does Otis show as the owner in the panel?
No, it still shows me. But what were you saying that you thought? Isn't there like a way you can
right click, open a new window?
Right click, yes, I knew there was one. So maybe this is what.
Because that is a record that has ownership. It's a normal date of birth.
creator, is that the same as?
Doesn't have the field on the form. This is fun.
We're down a rabbit hole now.
Oh, we are, for sure. We've gone all the way in.
There's owning business unit, and then there is created by.
But no artist.
No owner. No owner. Oh, I didn't say it.
Then I don't know what the heck it is.
No. So, Martin, there you go. No. hope that helps, but not really. It doesn't give you the what you needed, but it doesn't look like it. And I know that I've tried that myself in the past, because usually when I'm going through training or helping out a client, and I'm creating all the segments, then I'm listed as the creator, which isn't like causing issues. It just doesn't look great, and it would be nice if the marketing person could own them. But yeah, so no, it's good not to hijack the whole session, but you're fine, because you can certainly ask more questions if you want to. Don't worry, you're not hijacking it. But yeah,
it was a fun rabbit hole. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think it's always good to figure it out. So now, having said that, I wonder if, so this is, I'm not advocating going in and doing stuff directly in the tables in other ways, but I wonder if you would be able to go into Make.Power Apps and go and find the table and change it from there, which sometimes you can.
Yes.
That might be an option. I'm not going to show it on here, because if you don't know, it's probably not a good idea for me to show you. If you're sitting there going, oh yeah, let me have a look, then I'm confident that you're probably okay. But I figured that out the other day, where I was trying to adjust the a segment, and I wanted to add in some additional criteria for a segment that was used in multiple journeys and also linked through to other segments. And I was able to go and change the segment definition and update information that way. So Martin, maybe try that. That might be a backdoor, so to speak.
Yes, just try it in a test environment, something that isn't live, all the usual health check warnings, yada yada.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And again, I'm not saying it's supported,
can do
but
that.
You might be able to do that, right?
But yeah, until we get rid of the virtual segment, though, there isn't much you can do, because the virtual segment, you can't even edit that through the back door. It's a virtual table.
I wonder about XRM Toolbox.
No, it's a virtual table. Can't touch them.
Yeah, but it hadn't done anything. I wonder if you can assign some part of it. I don't know. Yeah, it's crap. Anyway, I'm waiting for Alexandra to finish typing.
It's been a while, right? There's a big build up. I'm feeling quite anxious about what's to come. Unless she's already written like the goodbye message and she's just waiting for us to shut the hell up.
Maybe. Thanks for everything. Goodbye. Yeah. So what I will do, just while we'll give her a few. Oh, there we go. Have you tried or have any thoughts about customizing the preference center to show only topics that the contact has a record for? No, it would be very, very difficult, because in theory, like if you go to a contact, let me just stop sharing. If you go to a contact or a lead and you go to the communication, then you'll see that it's not set. As soon as you do anything and you click to open that, it actually creates that contact point consent record at that point, even if it didn't exist before. So I would imagine going to the preference center, clicking on subscribe on the email, going to the preference center, it probably does something similar, in which case then as soon as somebody goes to that, it's probably at that point saying, oh, now we've got contact point consent records. Right? So there's probably some logic in it that when it displays it, or at least if it's not when it displays, as soon as I submit it, it's going to create those regardless.
Yeah. I would ask, why? Why would you want to do this?
No, but I'm just saying, I don't know if it would even be possible because of that. The other thing is, if you try and do something like, oh, I only want to show the ones that they're opted into, then
Yeah.
as soon as they untick one, you'd have to be really careful with any kind of JavaScript, because as soon as
Yeah,
I
so it doesn't
untick it, is it
disappear.
then going to hide the one that I've just unticked? So I think it would be challenging
Yeah.
to do anything with, and also it'd be like Amy said, what's the business reason for it? I guess, is that a good reason?
Yes. It will be a lot of JavaScript
Yeah,
with the dream.
I think
I was
so.
just typing again. Big build up, sorry.
We're ready for you, Alexandra.
I'm nervous.
And I wonder if you go by Alex, because my sister's Alexandra and she hates Alexandra, so she feels like it's my mother, our mother, telling her off. So maybe.
What would you call it?
Just while we're waiting on that, so I'm going to go ahead and put the link into the next one, which will be on the 12th of November. So again, we'll do the same thing, go through the release notes. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It's been quite good so far. We've had the release notes out just in time before the session. But yes, you can go ahead and register for that. So we are coming up for time. Trying to stall for Alexandra.
I know. What else is going on? What else is all the stupid stuff have I broken this week? Oh, let's talk about frequency cap. Something I learned. So everyone might already know this. I did not know this until this week. So frequency cap is an existing functionality that we have. It's pretty much does what it says on the tin. You define a certain number of emails. I think you define per channel, so email, text message, custom, whatever channels we have nowadays. How many per day, week, and month they can receive. And that actually checks at email address level. I assumed it was per contact for some reason. But I'm completely wrong. It's actually email address. So if I have 5 leads and 5 contacts with the same email, that email address will only actually receive the frequency cap amount, which is cool. And it was also suggested as a workaround for the A/B testing, but there is only one frequency cap setting per business unit. So it's not always a solution to your A/B testing nightmares. But just an interesting fact that it is about email addresses, not about contacts or leads. Fun fact.
I think that is in most scenarios that's okay. You've got challenges where, and I don't know if you've got any clients like this, a little bit more old school, and you might have people sharing email addresses, and then all of that just goes out the window when they're like, oh, but I want Mr. and Mrs. that are sharing an email address to both.
Yes.
I don't understand that concept. Not to the organization that send the emails, but for the two people. Like, okay, but if you're sharing an email address, why don't you just go into the inbox and look and it's there? But anyway, no, Liz, the answer is no. Frequency cap will not hold. That quiet time setting will hold, but frequency cap, it is done. If it gets blocked because of frequency cap,
no retries.
No, never again, never again. So I know, sad face indeed, I agree. Alexandra says, we thought about adding different projects as topics, and so contact can show interest in different project, and there are lots of projects, so we don't really want to show all topics for everyone. There's different send outs for different projects. It could be that you're getting into the scenario of do you need different compliance profiles? It just depends. You wouldn't want to have a compliance profile. It depends what your projects are, doesn't it? But I was just on a call earlier with a housing association, so they have different developments. So they've got a topic per development. Someone could say, I'm interested in this development in Manchester or Liverpool or whatever. They understand that actually you can't delete a topic afterwards, but that's fine. Once the development is all sold, all the houses are gone, you just remove the topic. But in terms of saying we want to only show certain tick boxes per project, you're then in the realms of you need different compliance profiles, really, I think.
Yeah.
Which is
then how do you know?
messy.
Yeah, there might not be a direct relationship, are there? Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Our friend Copilot or ChatGPT or whoever he is, spend some time with him, see what he can come up with.
Oh, sometimes he's so wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Or she, they, it.
They.
Right. So that's it. We're going to let Amy go to bed because it's nearly 2 o'clock in the
Yay.
morning. So thank you everyone for joining us, and hopefully we'll see some or all of you on the November one. But yeah, hopefully this was useful for you.
It was for me, Megan. Thanks. Love your work.
I love your work too. All right, thanks guys. Take care.
See you later, guys.